Yo guys, what is good? Today is the day. Our favorite league is back. Serie A is back, or is Pain back. Our favorite mediocre league now that has become, but I still love it. The drama off the pitch and on the pitch. It's going to be another interesting season. I'm not as excited about this season as maybe last few years because it does really feel like in the transfer market now we're all just become feeder leagues to the Premier League. But regardless of that, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited, and I'll give you my starting grid. I'm not going to call it predictions yet because you guys know I like to wait till the mercato is done, especially nowadays. Italian teams wait right until the last moment to fill their teams. The relegation teams wait until the last moment to find a good deal. So I'll update these predictions at the end. But of course, I want to know your predictions as well. But before that, make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. This is how my starting grid looks like. So as I said, at the moment, I don't have a ranking, more like just a starting grid, F1 style, I guess you could call it. But if you were to ask me who is your favorite at the moment, unfortunately, it is Antonio Conte's Napoli. Because why? Ask me who's going to have the best defense, who's going to concede the least goals in Serie A this season. I'm going to answer you. It's not Inter. It's going to be Napoli for sure. That's going to be the team that concedes the least. But after that, it's still not Inter. I would say Allegri's Milan, even though I'm not really too confident about the centre backs that they have on the individual level, the Pavlovic, the Tomoris, etc. But it's Allegri. It's Allegri ball, one game a week. So for that, I do have Milan also conceding less goals than Inter, but I still feel like I've seen a lot of predictions. I'm not going to make names. I've seen people putting Inter outside of the top four. Some people even putting them below fifth, which is crazy. I still think Inter have the best squad. I'm still not happy about Inter summer mercato until now. The Juve thing from yesterday, that hasn't moved the needle for me on that. But there's still time for Inter, Marotta, Ausilio to do something. But in terms of starting 11, of course, it depends if they've got over the trauma of the 5-0 and the trauma of last season in general and the aging squad, and are they as motivated? Do they want revenge for the last season? That's the key thing with Inter. It's all up here. And the coach, of course, is a very, very big unknown. But I still put Inter right up there competing for the Scudetto. And if they're not, then it is a failure by Christian Chivu. Milan, as I said, Allegri. I'm happy to see him back. I'm happy to see Allegri, Conte maybe in press conferences finally having some, back and forth. So we needed some of that. Sarri's back as well. Chivu now is a bit more. I think he's going to be a bit more mouthy than Inzaghi was, who was always, avoiding that type of stuff. So I feel like there's going to be more sound bites, more entertainment in the press conferences this season. But yeah, with Milan, Allegri, Leao in this new start, apparently they've been testing him out as a striker in a 3-5-2 up front. I think it could work for a little bit, but I think Leao will get bored of that and then start drifting off to the wing, and then they'll have to change formation probably. Let's see if they pull off this Victor Boniface signing as well. Without that, I don't think, I'm not too impressed with the Santi Jimenez up until now. But Pulisic is also a fantastic player in Serie A, and the midfield is very strong. So I think they're going to be definitely top four. Alongside Juve, Juve's Mercato has not been impressive at all, but I do rate the Jonathan David signing on a free. It's a signing that you guys know I would have wanted Inter to make. He's very technically gifted, actually. You see in preseason, I think he's not going to score as many goals as he has in Ligue 1, but I think he's going to be a good player all round for Juve. He's very good at bringing other players into play, a bit like what Lautaro does for Inter. Back to goal play, linking up. I think he's going to have a lot of assists to Kenan Yildiz. I think it could be the year that Kenan Yildiz explodes. I know he's been good, but I think he's got another gear to go into, and it seems like Tudor gets the best out of Kenan Yildiz more than Thiago Motta did last season. So I'm expecting big things from Yildiz and David. But apart from that, I'm not too impressed with Juve's Mercato, and they've got Champions League football, unlike Milan, which might take away some of their focus. Roma, I'll have them just outside top four, or maybe fifth or sixth is where I see them at the moment. I think Gasperini's style of football they're going to concede more goals than they did under Ranieri. Under Ranieri, they were actually competing. If you started a table just under Ranieri for Roma, they were actually competing for the Scudetto last season. But that was because they were so solid at the back. I don't see that solidity under Gasperini. I think that his new system, his style of play is going to take some while to implement. Lots of new signings, incomings. They're going to have to sell players as well because of financial fair play. But I think they're going to be entertaining. They're going to score a lot of goals. And I'm looking forward to watching Matias Soule. You know, he could be the Papu Gomez for Gasperini. I don't know how he's going to fit Matias Soule, Dybala, Leon Bailey, as all these left-footed players. Baldanzi's still there. But I think Matias Soule could have his breakthrough season, which I think he already had a while back with the Frosinone, but, you know, for Roma. And Lazio, I've seen a lot of people put Como in there, breaking into Europe. I think they could maybe be an outside shout to break into Europe, but I haven't seen them really they've made a lot of exciting signings up front, like Baturina, for me, could be one of the signings of the season. Adai, as Lex mentioned in my video the other day, lots of exciting signings up front and in the middle, but at the back, I feel like they really need like a marquee centre-back signing. And the goalkeeper as well, wasn't too convinced by the goalkeeper last season either, Como. So I think they're going to miss out on Europe, but they're going to be there and thereabouts. So I'm putting the boring pick of Lazio, who it's a tricky one with Lazio because Sarri is there. So I feel like Sarri is a guarantee, but he's going to be so frustrated with this lack. They've literally not sold anyone and they've not bought anyone, Lazio, because they can't make signings because of the liquidity ratio index. They failed that, but they've not sold anyone either. So it's, you know, he's basically going back into the team that he left Sarri with some of the younger players that they signed last year. So is that frustration from Sarri going to bubble through? Is he going to get frustrated and even just like leave at the middle of the season and say like, forget this, why did I even come back for this? But I feel like the team knows his style of play. He knows the players. It's going to be solid. They're going to be more solid than they were in the Baroni. They had a good start last year, but I feel like they're going to be more consistent this year with Sarri and make it to Europe. And I think Bologna, I've not been convinced by their summer window this year with Bernardeschi, Immobile. Like, they're going away from the Sartori type of signings. I'm a little bit confused. But they are going to be in Europe as well. So I think they're going to be stretched because of that again, like they were last year. They'll still have a good season, but I don't think they make Europe this year. And Atalanta, everyone is putting Atalanta out. Even like I've seen people put them even out top 10 because of Ivan Juric. I have this contrarian thing in me of like, I just want to go sometimes on like some things where I see everyone doing something, I want to do it the other way. So I feel like with Atalanta, it's not like I'm predicting them to finish top 4 here, but I feel like Juric, I don't think he's going to be fired. I think they're going to, even if they don't do well, they're going to stick with him. I think Atalanta will be patient with him. And the squad is still good. They just need to, and I'm sure they will replace Retegui at some point. Scamacca's also coming back. Yeah, still a good squad. I think they'll be all right in the end, but I think they will struggle this year. I'm not going to be that contrarian to say that Atalanta are going to be challenging for the Scudetto like they almost were last season. So that's my top grid. In terms of relegation, this is my picks again. At the moment, I haven't picked a real ranking, but we talked about it in my transfer grading video. I liked what some of the things Cremonese have done, like, getting Baschirotto in, Sanabria signed just the other day since my video. That's a good Serie A level striker. Pezzella, Paiero, Terracciano, Warren Bondo, Zerbin, Marco Silvestri, Grassi, Audero. These are all, Serie A level players. And it is Davide Nicola, the amazing relegation battling legend that is Davide Nicola as the coach. So usually Davide Nicola manages to keep his teams upright in terms of Cremonese. Pisa, on the other hand, also have a good coach in Alberto Gilardino, who are great, but they have not done very much, or much that I'm impressed with in the transfer window. Nzola, that's a good striker signing. Scuffet, goalkeeper, I don't know. Quadrado as well at 37 years of age. Abisher is a good player from Bologna on loan, but aside from that, I feel like that squad, they haven't really backed Gilardino as much as they should have. Hellas Verona, surely it's their year. They sold Gilardi, they sold Coppola at the back. I'm sure they'll replace them with some unknown players that we don't know about, and somehow they'll work. But surely the deal with the devil of Hellas Verona is over. Every year, everyone predicts them to go down, and they don't. This year, surely they will go down. Parma are one of the most exciting projects in Italy at the moment. Carlos Cuesta, the very young coach, 29 years old. He's younger than me. It's crazy, this guy. But I like that Parma have done that. They're going away from this Italian way of doing things. Foreign coach, super young coach, very different from the usual Italian way of doing things. But I think they are going to struggle because of that. How are they going to replace Leoni? How are they going to replace Boni? Actually, I think Pellegrino is going to have a fantastic season up front, but I still think they're going to be there and thereabouts, and they're going to struggle. Cagliari, they've done good business, Seba Esposito, but they sold Piccoli today, who I don't rate, but he was very important for Cagliari. But they have a very inexperienced coach in Pisacane, who is a Cagliari legend, very inexperienced. So I think they're going to struggle. And Udinese, they sold Luca. They haven't replaced them. They might sell Sole. Again, they usually seem to be fine at the end of the day. But I think this year they're going to take a step back in terms of threatening to be relegated. And then I'll do the other nitty-gritty, between the 8th and 16th predictions after the Mercato closes. And individual picks, I want to hear your individual picks here. So top scorer, I am going for Lautaro having a bounce back season. Surely Moise Kean can't have a back-to-back Serie A top scorer season. I think Lauti's going to have a bounce back year this year. We're going to create chances. We're going to, score goals. I think Thuram is going to go back to being more of a, trying to, be the support partner to Lauti rather than being the main number 9 like it was last season. So Lautaro will score his goals. Best signing, I really like the Ricci signing from Milan. I think value for money under Allegri. He's going to take his next step. And I'd also really like the Petar Sucic in terms of value for money. I could have put Jonathan David in there, but I just, don't have it in me to give that to Juve, as impartial as I try to be all the time. Worst signing for me, I've said it in the past, I think is going to be Noah Lang, but I have not liked the Bernardeschi signing from Bologna. I think he could be also bad pick. Also, maybe Luis Enrique for Inter at the moment is not looking too good. Breakthrough player, you guys know, Valentin Carboni at Genoa. I think he's going to have that season where Interisti, we know that how talented he is, but the rest of Serie A doesn't know. And I think under Vieira, what I've seen in pre-season and in Coppa Italia from Carboni, could have a nice year. Best under 21, Honest Ahano from Atalanta, signed from Genoa for around 17 million euros, very expensive, but 17 years of age. Juric, one thing you have to give him, he is the wing-back whisperer. Di Marco was coming, but he broke through under him. Bellanova got better under him. What's his face? Faraoni, Hellas Verona, this guy does well with wing backs. So I think Ahano is going to have that breakthrough with him. Pio Esposito, not Seba Esposito, but hopefully Seba, he's not under 21, but Pio Esposito, I don't think he's going to have as much minutes as Camarda, the one next to him, because Camarda looks like he might be even the starter for Lecce, to be honest. Actually, I completely forgot Lecce here are definitely my relegation. I completely forgot here. Lecce, because Di Francesco is there, who's pretty much guaranteed candidate for relegation every single year, and Kristovic is going to be a big miss for them. So that was a complete miss by me, but definitely Lecce are one of the favorites for me for relegation. But Camarda having so much playtime hopefully means that he has a bit of a breakthrough season. Maybe it's more of a hope. It's not really a good place for a 17, 18-year-old to be the lone striker, struggling Lecce team, to be honest. And first coach stacked, Di Francesco or Pisacane, the Cagliari one, or Di Francesco at Lecce. Those are my predictions, guys. Let me know yours. It's going to be an interesting, fun season up ahead. Hopefully I'm wrong about Inter, but you guys let me know, where do you rank everyone? Is Napoli the favorites, or do you have anyone as a surprise candidate? Or do you have Milan as dark horses, as I have? Or who do you have as dark horses for the Scudetto? Top 4, top 8? Let me know in the comments down below. Ciao ragazzi, forza Serie A. It's going to be an interesting season. Leave a thumbs